Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here. Today I'm actually going to share some of the tools that I use for devotionals and Bible study and how I kind of navigate that stuff. So to start, obviously the most important thing typically with any of it is going to be Bibles. So the first thing I have is this English Standard Version Bible that I found on Amazon. I thought it was very pretty. I do like the English Standard Version. I feel like it's closest to normal English that we speak today, which makes it a little easier to understand. And I do like that it came with the ribbon built in, so if I'm reading through it, I can actually mark it off. To kind of go with that, I also have the English Standard Version Study Bible. I use this when I feel like I need a little more insight into maybe some of what I'm reading, because there's nice maps and descriptions of different things from those times. So I definitely use those. And then I also use the YouVersion Bible App. That honestly is a very great tool for a few reasons. One, besides it being a digital app of the Bible that I can take with me anywhere, it allows you to have access to, 20 or 30 different versions of the Bible, which can come in handy if you're reading a certain piece of scripture and you need to have it broke down multiple times into different verbiage, so that way I can grasp it. I do sometimes like to use the Message Bible, which I know is kind of controversial because it's not a direct translation, but it definitely helps me to get a clearer picture if the English Standard Version is not clear enough for me. So that's a big thing that I use. And then for me, the way I do devotional time, I do it first thing in the morning when I get up, kind of a good way to start my day. I've had a couple different devotionals that I've worked throughout the years. And then also on the YouVersion Bible app, you can get access to tons of different little short devotionals. They're more like a preview of ones that you could purchase. But when I don't have one or I want to change it up periodically, that is a great way to have a variety of options. When I first started, getting into devotionals on a daily basis, after I was baptized recently again, I had a friend that gifted me this Jesus Calling devotional. It's like a 365 daily. And this one, I like the ones that are dated where you have a set thing to read each day and a little blurb, and then you have some scripture to kind of go with it. So I did work through this one the year after I got it, and then I think I took a year where I just did devotionals through the YouVersion app, and then last year my whole goal was to read through the Bible in a year, which I did complete. I had I think the YouVersion actually has a version of how to read through the Bible in a year. But the one I had gotten was from another website, and I just printed it out and then highlighted each day that I read the scripture that I needed to. Oh, and the other thing that the YouVersion Bible is really good for is it can read it to you, which is really nice. Sometimes it's helpful to hear it, not just read it. And they also have little links in some of the scriptures that are videos that you can watch that they're almost like movies that might have been made years ago. So you can actually pull that up and watch a little snippet. So again, it's more variety of ways to relate or make it understandable to you. And then at one point I got this devotional that my mom and I did. It's Unwrapping the Names of Jesus. It's a very short one. It's just for the Christmas season. So I'll probably do this every other year, just because, if you do it too frequently, it's hard to keep up with it, or not keep up with it, but becomes, something you're familiar with. So this I'll kind of rotate through every few years. And then this year, I actually hate to say it, but I was influenced by a few of the YouTubers that I watch. New Morning Mercies by, I think it's Paul David Tripp. So this one's a dated one that you go through each day. There's a little blurb to read, and then they give you further study and encouragement, some scripture to read. So for me, this is good because it's a short read in the morning, and then I usually just use the YouVersion Bible app to have it read to me the scripture while I'm making breakfast. So this is another really good one, and I've actually really enjoyed this one quite a bit. Now, usually to finish out my day, because I like to end on a positive note as well, I bought this very basic planner on Amazon. one thing I liked about it is it's very, here's your days, and then there's like I think it was meant to be like a to-do list. But at the end of every day, I try to write down 5 things that I was grateful for from the day, or blessings from that day, things like that. So I just use the day to write those out. And then under the to-do list section, I just kind of write down my prayers, people that I'm praying for that week, and maybe the reason why. But I do like this. It's just easy to not keep track, but stay up with it and make sure that I'm doing it. I did originally start with like doing, I think it was 3 things that I was grateful for, and I moved to 4 last year, and this year I'm up to 5. Because sometimes, even if you feel like you had a really bad day, to kind of focus and hone in on the little things that maybe were joyful for you or blessings helps you to go to sleep on a positive note rather than still dwelling on those negative things. And I mean, it could be something as simple as, I was thankful for my coffee today. So I do that every day at the end of it. Now, as for Bible study, I had never done like a Bible study before. So I decided to join a group at my church back in, I think, 2019. So it was a group of women. I think there was like 8 at most of us that were in that group, and we met like every couple weeks. When we started it, we did this seamless Bible study. Honestly, this was like the best thing for me to start with, because it was kind of working through the Bible and weaving everything together, like the key points and the themes that you should see as you go through it. And it's actually very insightful. Like, you had scripture to read on your own, a little blurb about it, and then some questions at the end. But then when we met in person, besides discussing what we wrote down, there was a video series that you could purchase on their website as well that you could watch, and she kind of talked through some of it. I don't know, I just really enjoyed this, and this was a great first study for somebody that's just trying to get into it. So yeah, really, really, really enjoyed this. Now, after that study ended, there wasn't a lot of girls that kept showing up towards the end. So the actual leader of that group, me, and then one other girl, decided we wanted to kind of continue on with some Bible study. Of course, literally we met right before the start of the whole lockdown stuff going on. So we kind of had a delay in it. I had found this website called Daily Grace and Company that sells Bible studies. And I had showed it to my Bible study leader, and she was all about it. Like, it's a beautiful book, beautiful. And they have tons of them on their site for different various, either books of the Bible or, you know, want to do one on like anxiety, things like that, that you could focus on. So the specific one that I had that I really wanted to do was Daughters of Grace. And we're literally working through like the different women in the Bible, which is nice to have the perspective of trying to focus on the women, because most of the stories in the Bible tend to be more about the men. So this has been fun to do with them. We kind of had to start out where we did it through FaceTime for a little while. And then recently, I would say in the last month, we've finally started meeting again in person. Because there's only 3 of us, and I feel like we get into more in-depth conversation on these. We meet at my house because it's just 3 of us. We don't really have, like, I wouldn't say a leader anymore. We kind of just all do it together. I just happen to host because I kind of live in between the 2 girls, and I also have a house and I live by myself. What we do, because it's a week-long thing, and there's like 5 women each week that you read through, we'll do like 3 days, so like 1, 2, and 3. We meet and then discuss it, and then the second week we'll do the last 2 and then the review of the week. So this one's been very nice. They're just, I don't even know, gorgeous, aesthetic, like beautiful books. And they're very simple to read, but they're very insightful at the same time. That same website, actually, I got another study, even if I want to kind of do after this. And, but they had like a free daily grace guide that you could get. The website is great. The thing I absolutely love about this, because I've actually bought some of these studies for my mom as well, and just had them shipped to her. But every time you purchase one of their studies and their books, they give you a code for like the digital version of it on their app. And I love this. I'm a very particular person, so even though I'm doing these studies, I do not like to write in the books in case I want to go back to them and do them again. So the app allows me to go through the study, and then you can actually type in the answers to the questions, and then I have a digital format of it. which is really nice for someone like me who doesn't want to write in it. But also, like, for my mom, when I purchase her a study, if we want to do it together, I don't have to purchase a second one. I just use the digital code, and then we could do it together over the phone or something. So that's a really nice tool too. Their app actually has a lot of articles. They have a podcast. So there's a lot of really cool features on there. But I love how beautiful the books are. From their site too, just as a little side, they actually have a lot of really cute merchandise stuff you can buy. This I happened to get free with one of my purchases. It's just like a canvas tote. They had some other ones, but this is great for like when I have church and then Bible study meetup outside of my home. I was using it a lot for that, to take my Bible, my notebooks and stuff. And I'm sure you saw this in one of my videos. It just says, "In your presence is abundant joy," Psalm 16:11, water cup. This was really something I'd been eyeing up for a while, and then they happened to have a sale, so I ordered it for myself. And then I've gotten a couple coffee mugs over time from them as well. Very cute stuff, but I definitely love that site, and I would recommend looking through it, especially if you're looking for a Bible study, because they have countless Bible studies. I mean, and they're not just geared towards women. They have some strictly for men as well, or couples ones. So there's a lot of fun things on their website, but that's kind of where I've gravitated towards for different studies right now. And I really do like the format of them, and they're just very pretty to look at, but I love the digital aspect as well. So I hope this was a good explanation a little bit of like the Bibles that I use, the devotionals I've been using, the studies that I've been doing. But if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I hope everybody has a blessed day.